Hi, this is Alex with Maple Leaf Coffee Roasters in Roselle. I'm here today to talk about the March 2025 Club Coffee from Ethiopia. Check it out. So as a reminder for everyone, the Club Coffee program is something we do here at Maple Leaf where we bring in a members-only coffee every month, roast it 3 different ways, send out a bunch of notes in the email about it, and give members a chance to choose one of the 3 coffees that sounds good to them. We try to do some interesting exotic things with the coffees that we bring in, either the way that we roast it or the types of coffees we bring in, or sometimes a bit of both. But it really is a fun way to try to explore a little bit off the normal path, not only for the club members, but also myself. In the world of coffee. So this month we have a type of coffee that I historically will characterize as kind of like coffee comfort food, at least for myself. There's a class of coffees out there that you kind of always know exactly what you're going to get out of them, but that doesn't make them any less fun. Coffees that kind of fit this mold for me are coffees from Mexico, from Peru, certain parts of Ethiopia and Africa. And this is one of those ones that fits into the African comfort coffee sort of mold for me. It's a natural process coffee, so it usually means that it's going to be a little bit more on the fruity end of things, or at least the exotic, different taste every sip of the cup. It's also from Ethiopia, and it's from the Sidama region within Ethiopia, which historically speaking is a region where you're going to get a lot of those interesting exotic fruit flavors. Sometimes you'll get some really weird fruity flavors. Other times you'll get some stuff that'll be really predictable, very pungent, very fragrant sorts of things, no matter how you're drinking your coffee. And this is one that's, as I said, from Sidamo. The other 2 regions that are fairly popular for us in Ethiopia to get these fruit-forward coffees are either the Guji region or the Yirgacheffe region. Occasionally we'll see some from there with a little bit of a sharper bite, but something that does still have kind of fruit-forward sort of feel. So this month, the 3 different roasts that we have normal, light, medium, and dark. Didn't do anything exotic or different with the way this coffee is roasted. We're just trying to make this a really easy coffee for everyone to approach and just have a good experience with what a fantastic, conventional, fruit-forward Ethiopian coffee can taste like. So on the light roast side of things, this is a coffee that has a very pungent, sweet, kind of like a blueberry, strawberry, sort of almost blackberry kind of tone to it. The fun part about these types of coffees when they're roasted light is that you do get that very pungent, floral, kind of exotic smell, not only from the beans and the grounds themselves, but you can really get a sense of what this coffee is going to taste like when you bring the cup up to your nose. I did enjoy the kind of dry fruit feel that this coffee had as well. Not an acidic coffee by any means. I think this month, if you're a person that naturally gravitates away from lighter roasted coffees because of the feel that it has in your stomach, this is one that you're going to feel really comfortable with drinking, and you're going to get that kind of cool fruit-forward tone from it as well. Very refreshing taste overall. I found myself continuing to sip this one no matter what temperature the coffee went towards. I think if I'm going to steer anyone at any of these 3 choices this month, this is probably the one that I'm going to definitely recommend. Almost everyone gives a shot unless you have a really compelling reason to go with anything else. The medium roast for this coffee, as you expect, turns a bit weightier. Has a little bit of like a chocolate tone to it. Doesn't lose a whole lot of that fruit-forward sort of feel that you see in the light roast. The pungency of this coffee was still there. Doesn't have that same punch to it that the light roast does. So while you'll still smell this really strong flavor and kind of fruit-forward nature that you would smell in the light roast as well, it's not going to be as in your face. A bit more of a kind of milk chocolate sort of feel from this as well too. So if you're a person that usually likes the kind of medium roast because of that like smoother, balanced sort of taste, and you like a little bit of the chocolatey tone that we sometimes see out of the Central American coffees, this would be a really great choice this month too. Kind of like a little bit of a velvety, silky texture to go along with it too. Not quite as refreshing as that light roast, but it's going to sit with your stomach really easily. And I think this will be a really great cup overall. It's more on the dry fruit side of things as opposed to like the berry, strawberry, blackberry sort of vibe that we saw in the light roast. As expected, on the dark roast side of things, this is where the coffee has a little bit more of a weight to it, a little bit of a malty texture. Sometimes with these darker roasts for the African coffees, you can still retain a lot of that natural fruit-forward sort of feel to it, the original flavors from the coffee itself. But you do get that kind of thicker, richer flavor compared to both the light and the medium. Still retain a decent amount of that kind of fruit-forward tone. It turns a little bit more of like a buttery vanilla texture though. So you do lose a lot of the exotic fruit flavors that you have seen even in the medium roast here. Those kind of like blueberry, blackberry, strawberry sort of flavors, they're really not here at all. The closest that you really get to this is kind of like a plum texture to it. So it's going to have that kind of sweeter, juicier edge to it, especially with the weight that you might experience if you're just like actually just eating a plum at home. The kind of fruit flavors there are just not as strong as I said, and it's not a super heavy coffee either. A lot of times with the darker roast coffees, you're going to get something that has a little bit of body to it, something that really leaves a lingering aftertaste. And this is definitely one that's not going to have that. So I think if this month, if you're going to choose any of these coffees to steer away from, that dark roast is not going to be worth the cost. This is one of those where if you want to really see what a easily approachable, fruit-forward, conventionally fruity kind of African coffee would taste like, do your best and steer away from the dark. This is the month where you choose a lighter medium. So as I said, the Club Coffee is a great program. We always have some new openings every once in a while. So if it's something you're interested in, the only way to get access to one of these coffees every month is to be a member of the club. And feel free to reach out to us either as a message or in an email, or stop into the store. We're always happy to talk to people about the club and when we might see some open slots there after there. So hope to catch you all next month for another great Club Coffee video, and see you next time. Take care.